this time, we'll call to order the regular meeting of Common Council. This is October 7th, 2025. Carrie, roll, please.
Alderperson Carpenter.
Here.
Essercon.
Here.
Gantz.
Here.
Hanson.
Here.
Hunniger.
Here.
Ledvina.
Here.
Nelson.
Here.
P-Rock.
Here.
And Mayor Boyd.
I am here, thank you. Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry, I can't reach her.
Item 3, approval of the minutes of the September 16th, 2025 Common Council meeting.
Make a motion to approve. A second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by, I think that was
Casey.
Alderperson Nelson. Any discussion or comments? Seems we have none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 4, public hearing to act on a request for a zoning map amendment to remove PDD overlays at multiple parcels on Lawrence Drive. Will the clerk please read the notice of the public hearing?
The notice was published in the Green Bay Press-Times on September 19th and September 26th, 2025.
Thank you. Recommendation from Plan Commission, Peter.
Planning Commission recommended approval.
Thank you. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open. Anyone wants to speak on this item on the agenda? This is item 4, the public hearing. Now is your time. If so, just raise your hand. To speak on this item on the agenda, I'll identify you first. Come on up to the table. We just need your name and address. And again, this is for the PDD overlays at multiple parcels at Lawrence Drive.
My name is Pat Castor. I'm with River City Realtors at 2170 Belp Avenue in Village of Howard. I just wanted to come and be in favor of something that you're doing. I am the developer of the PDD that's in question. And I just wanted to let you guys know and Peter know that we sometimes are in favor of what you're doing and we want to show our support. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Pat. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate that. Anyone else want to speak? While the public hearing is open on item 4, this item on the agenda. For the third and final time, anyone want to speak on the public hearing item 4 at this time? All right, I'll declare the public hearing closed and would entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Hanson, seconded by Alderperson Cuniger. Any additional discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Yeah, Peter, can you bring up the map on page 20?
Give me a second and I'll get that up.
There are a lot of names up there. I don't know who they are. It went away, but you're not going to see it. There's a lot of names up there.
Are you?
Don't worry about it now.
I've become.
Yeah, people.
Oh my.
More than normal.
I was just listening to it. This is right before you. And I downloaded like the clean version, girls, and then the highest thing I was like not ready.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just held up the incorrect map.
Oh, that's okay.
They're twins.
You're fine. Take your time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And they're girls.
You didn't do roll call.
This is the map that we used at the Plan Commission meeting Elder had sent.
Okay. I'm wondering about that section in the southwest corner. It's just south of the Garrity's Glen subdivision and west of the Garrity's Glen South subdivision. Did that not have any PDD overlays to begin with? I'm just wondering why that's not part of this.
You are correct. When that area of that subdivision was created, it was not part of the PDD. That is part of the Garrity's Glen South subdivision, and only that eastern portion of Garrity's Glen South was part of that PDD overlay.
So the rest was developed later then?
It was all developed proposed for development at the same time. A PDD was only created for that one portion of that subdivision.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Other questions or comments? Looks like we're all good. That said, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Carpenter.
Aye.
Essercon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Hunniger.
Aye.
Ledvina.
Aye.
Nelson.
Aye.
P-Rock.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 5, public hearing to act on a request for a zoning map amendment at American Boulevard and Red Maple Road. Will the clerk please read the notice of the public hearing?
The notice of public hearing was published in the Press Times on September 19th and September 26th, 2025.
Thank you. Peter, recommendation from the Plan Commission.
Plan Commission recommended approval.
Thank you very much. At this time, for this item on the agenda, item 5, I will open the public hearing. If anyone wants to speak on this item on the agenda regarding the zoning map amendment at American Boulevard and Red Maple Road, now is your time. If so, just raise your hand in the audience, or virtually, you can just state your name if you want to talk on this item. For the second time, while the public hearing is open, now is your chance. And for the third and final time, final chance for public hearing on item 5. I'll move to close, go out of public hearing and would entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Nelson, seconded by Alderperson Ledvina. Discussion or comments? Looks like we have none. That said, I believe this is also a roll call vote. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Essercon?
Aye.
Gantz?
Aye.
Hanson?
Aye.
Cuniger?
Aye.
Ledvina?
Aye.
Nelson?
Aye.
Pirock?
Aye.
Mayor Boyd?
Aye.
Carpenter?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 6, public comment upon matters not on the agenda. Comments made during the public comment period shall pertain only to matters under the jurisdiction of the Common Council. Anyone in person have any public comment upon matters not on the agenda? Now is your time to speak. We have one in the back. Come on up to the table. Again, we'll need your name and address, and just so you understand, you can have a seat, and just so you understand, you have 5 minutes.
Okay. I'm Ruth Ann Reinen. I live at 950 Oakdale Avenue in De Pere, and I would like to just make a few remarks about the road reconstruction project that's been going on for quite some time.
I really apologize, but I think we're going to have you sit and then speak into the microphone, because I'm
Okay.
not sure they out there can hear you, and not everyone here can hear you as well. So if you could
Okay.
just do that. Thank you, Ruth.
I
Ann,
thought I had
appreciate
an
it.
outdoor voice, but perhaps I don't.
Thank you so much.
I'm Ruth Ann Reinen. I live at 950 Oakdale Avenue in De Pere, and I have a few remarks to make about the reconstruction project on North Oakdale Avenue that's been going on this summer. Since we have resided in the house at 950 Oakdale for over 41 years, we saw street construction and new curbing put in 1997, the year we rebuilt our garage so it could be entered from the alley. Since the city was paving the street and putting in new curbing that year, they said they could easily install a sloped access between the street and sidewalk, and so they did. That access has turned out to be very handy for us, for neighbors, for elderly friends, and for delivery people needing easy access to homes. Of the 11 homes on the street, 4 have a driveway on the street. At 950, we had a sloped, narrow access to the street, as did our neighbors at 940 Oakdale. All of the information we received about this project said that everything would be put back as it had been. There was no indication given that the sloped street accesses would be taken out. I learned that our sloped, narrow access to the street was gone when I returned from the grocery store and saw the curb going in where the sloped, narrow access had been. I immediately turned to the person watching this happen, who said he was with the city, and I asked about the sloped, narrow access. I told him it had been in there since 1997, and the city had no problem installing it then. He said if he did it for me, he'd have to do it for everyone. I thought that might be a good idea, but I was told I should have taken it to the Common Council. I replied I could have if I had known it was going to be taken out. When I reiterated that the city had no problem installing it originally, he noted that the federal laws for accessibility had changed since 1997 and that the accessible slope that had been there no longer met the code. He went on to say that if one were installed where the former one had been, another would have to be installed directly across the street. The following day, I went in search of someone who might be able to explain further why this useful access to the street had to be taken out. The city person I met up with on the street told me that the access to the street could only be at corners, since it would be dangerous to have people walking into traffic in the middle of the street. The street dead ends, and there's minimal traffic. To have the sloped access restored would be helpful. My husband has glaucoma, which has taken much of his vision, particularly the central vision in one eye. That makes depth perception very difficult. Any step down is a step into the unknown. So a sloped access to the street is a way to make his disability easier to live with. While many have used the access, it really helps a person with low vision. To me, it is unfortunate that the city or the city engineers have taken away one helpful aspect that makes my husband's life easier. When I asked one of the people I had spoken with if I could take out the path to the street that requires a step down and replace it with a sloped access, I was met with a hearty laugh. I'm not sure, he might have been laughing at me taking it out with my jackhammer, but I'm not sure. My husband said to me the other day, we were lucky to have the access for 28 years. My response from a former council member is, the city or the engineers are very interested in meeting codes, but seemingly less interested in meeting people's needs. My question tonight is, could the sloped access be restored, and who do I need to contact? And one further thing I want to say, thank you for letting me speak. That's one of the perks of small city life. We get to speak about what we care about. Thank you.
Thank you. Just so you do understand, we can't comment. It's not on the agenda. So this will
Yeah.
go to staff, the city manager, and someone will connect with you. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. While we are open right now on public comment upon matters not on the agenda, anyone else want to speak in the audience while the public comment period is open? For the second time, virtually as well. For the third and final time, any public comment upon matters not on the agenda? All right, thank you very much. Up next, item 7, presentation from the DPR Beautification Committee. The floor is yours. Come on up. And if you want to identify anyone that's here, I think he's all set there.
Yep.
And then just kind of tell us about you two. And there he goes. They're kind of pros at this, it
Yes.
appears. So, been around here before. All right, go ahead.
Kinda. My name is Sue Walsh, and I live at 1472 Barber Lane.
Eben Earhart, and I live at 407 South Michigan Street.
I just want to say tonight, the Beautification Committee of DPR would like to thank Mayor Boyd and the city council members for all your past generous budget expenditure, which allows us to keep our efforts moving forward. We also need to thank city employees, Scott Thorson, Brian Kristovanich, who are present at our monthly meetings and share their expertise to help us in any way they can, along with Marty Kasabaki. The Beautification Committee is most proud of what we've been able to accomplish by beautifying the city. We are most proud of the hours spent by our community volunteers who tirelessly work with us and give each bed, each pot, and each roundabout the care and the time they require to grow to their best potential. As the chair of the beautification, I think it's important to recognize the people behind the work that is done by this committee. I'm grateful for all the work put in, and I need to praise all the efforts that they put forth through the entire year, and as you can see throughout the city, as it looks so nice. I'd like to have each of our members here tonight to stand, be recognized as the heart of the Beautification Committee, and give them a huge thank you. And also, I want to give a huge thank you for those that aren't able to be here tonight. We send you the same huge thank you. Again, we are thankful for the help the city offers us, and we will continue to keep this city beautiful. Now we are here to thank Eben, who is so graciously going to give us our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
So I would just run through a presentation here, a few slides with some pictures to sort of show what we've done in the past year or continue to do over the time we're here. Our mission statement, the De Pere Beautification Committee works cooperatively with the City of De Pere, definitely De Pere businesses, residents, and volunteers in a coordinated effort to promote beauty and civic pride throughout the City of De Pere. Some highlights that I just want to cover. These are sort of new initiatives or things we focused on this year. We planted a number of daffodils throughout the city. We really put some focus on some of the roundabouts. We've continued to work with Walsh Plaza. We created a butterfly habitat that was in a roundabout. We'll get to that as we go through this. And then the continued support of the businesses that support us and individuals, but we always like to recognize the businesses in particular. I guess the first thing that we really need to talk about, and Sue touched on this, is the volunteers. We have 10 committee members and 38 dedicated volunteers that spend countless hours. We totaled it to be around 1,350. When I talked to my wife about this, she said, "How many hours did you put down to have done?" And she sort of laughed. So I would think 2,000 might actually be within the realm of what we've put in. And it's on all kinds of weather, all kinds of days. Mulching when it's 85 or 90 degrees and humid. Fall cleanup, you never know, or spring cleanup, you never know what the weather's going to be like. And then when we're doing the pots in for winter, sometimes pretty bitter, especially somehow on the west side and on Broadway, it's like wind tunnels. So, you know, it's not the temperature as much as the wind. So we really appreciate the work of all our volunteers. So the daffodil program, we kind of looked at something new last year, and we were really targeting trying to have some of our area look good for the draft period. I will say, unfortunately, we had a cold spring and the daffodils were a little late. There were some that were blooming at draft time, the first ones, but so we spent some time in the fall of 2024 planting in several of the roundabouts and beds around the area. And then had a great success. We did run a fundraiser, which is an ongoing fundraiser with a company called Brent and Becky's Bulbs. And any person that designates us when they purchase bulbs from that company, we get 25% of their total purchase back. So we had, you know, it's another way for us to gain some money. And it's also a way that we can encourage people to beautify their yards as well. And that will go on indefinitely, even though our initial push was last year. We are planting again this year. We did about 1,500 last year, probably similar numbers this year in bulbs, not exclusively daffodils this year. We've got some other things going in as well. The roundabouts, flower beds, and planters. This is sort of our focus area. We do 11 roundabouts. That's up one from where we were in 2024. And there's a couple roundabouts that we share some responsibility with the city. We help them and they do most of the weeding, which are roundabouts without planting, and they're actually sprayed most of the time. 5 beds on Main Avenue at Interstate 41. 14 beds in East De Pere, 6 beds in West De Pere, and 106 planters on the street, and then a few planters that are off the street. For instance, the one here and at the pool and a few places like that. Walsh Plaza, we realized a few years ago, after it had been in for a couple years, that a lot of the plants that were there just weren't doing well in the situation that they were in. So it was a two-phase project. We started in 2024 and pretty much finished in 2025. Now it's sort of a maintenance level project, but I would say about 60%, other than the bulbs that were planted, 60% of the plants that were planted have now been removed and replaced. So it was a big project for us, but we just sort of felt like we had been tasked with managing that, and there were a lot of grasses that were in sort of a dry shaded area that weren't succeeding, so that was primarily what came out. There's still plenty of grass in that area if you go through their ornamental grasses, but so we've changed up the look there, and hopefully it continues to, meet our expectations and the city's expectations. The beds at I-41 and Main Avenue, there's 5 beds. 1 is on the east side of I-41 and 4 to the west. We've managed those for several years. And this year we decided we wanted to add some color. It was mostly some shrubs and a few ornamental grasses. Some planted by the original contractors when it was opened, and then we've added to it. But this year we did add a number of new perennials and a few shrubs that'll give us some lasting color, a little different texture to that planting. You can also see here we did a large mulching day along with city staff. I want to say the seasonal staff, and I'll probably say this again, was outstanding this year, and really hardworking, and just we can't do what we do without the support that comes from the city. So Sheeran and Suburban, the roundabout there, was overtaken by invasive shrubs. And 2 years ago, we started removing those, and we kind of got it under control, but we had been looking for a while for a place to do a butterfly habitat. And we decided that was a place where we had already started to clean it up. There were some daylilies in there that we had to take out, but we did plant then 450 plants roughly that are pollinator and butterfly both feed, and then also some host plants for the larvae. So we're hoping that that's sort of an initiative. It'll be a different kind of look than what we normally do when it fills out. It's fairly tightly planted, and knock on wood, next year and the following year, it comes to the vision we have, and that people, again, aesthetically, it's hopefully something that everyone will appreciate, and obviously for the native butterflies and bees and things like that, they will definitely appreciate it. I wanted to talk a little bit about plant selection, because that's one of the things I get the most questions on. And when we're looking at what we do, we kind of have the first 3 things here are kind of pretty much you have to have for what we want, and that's visual appeal and long-lasting color, low maintenance, particularly no deadheading. When you think about 106 pots, if we had geraniums in there that, once the flowers bloom, you've got the stalk sticking up, and typically you would go around and cut that off. That would be a high demand on our volunteer labor. And then drought tolerant. We have a great watering relationship with the city and the staff that's out there, but every now and then you get some hot, dry days, and if things dry down, we don't want the type of plants that are going to die or succumb to that. Additionally, we look at plant size, growth habitat, butterfly friendly, and a varied color and texture. And I used this picture here. You can see there's 2 monarchs on there, and actually there's also a morning cloak, which is up in the green tree just to the right of the Lee building. You sort of see some black in there. So I was, just walking through downtown. This is by Sarugi's, and stood there and watched for about 10 minutes and said, oh, I should take a picture of this. So it is kind of nice to see life in the downtown. I kind of always notice when I see a butterfly flying over whenever I go anywhere, so I'm a little crazy about that, but I hope other people are appreciating that. And I did talk to someone at Luna. He asked me about what the plants were, and he said he'd watched 4 monarchs at the one right outside there while he was sitting there drinking his coffee a week before. And he was from Alloway and trying to convince Alloway to put in some butterfly gardens there. So I told him, just come to De Pere and spend all your money here.
Yeah.
Good decision.
The Fox River Trail, we have been a part of the cleanup on the Fox River Trail since it opened. We do the section from Beaumere Street to somewhere north of Voyager Park. There's that drainage pond there, and we're sort of in the middle of that pond we go to, and it probably matches up with the street if we ran it up into town, but it's, a half mile or so. The request from the county is that you clean the areas if you're an adopt a trail person twice a year. We clean it weekly from April through September, and probably a few times in the time between September and the next April. So we really take pride. It is sort of the heart of the downtown area on the trail. If anybody's coming off of the trail or seeing a reflection of De Pere, that's kind of our metro portion of it. So it's sort of it fits well with what we do. The holiday planters, this is actually probably more labor intensive than any other project we do. We've got 106 wreaths that we put on the pots. 600 stars, approximately 150 birch sticks, and we added bells to a number of the topiary planters. You probably will remember those from last year. I didn't put a picture in here, but over 750 sticks of red twig dogwood that we harvest from one of our members' properties south of town. So you can sort of see we're out in it's kind of swampy area, so if it's a wet fall, we're wet and cold feet, and then loaded into a pickup truck to get what we all get to look at for several months during the winter. So it's a project we take a lot of pride in, but it is definitely something that we spend effort on. In terms of donors and donations, our business and our civic organization donors, we like to recognize them. Our total donations from them was about flat year over year. We did have a few less donors in these categories, but BLK, Bellmark, Harmon Studios, the Herb Shop, Nicky's, Oak Street Cafe, Pomp's Tire Service, Saks Holding, Sidekicks Bar and Grill, Strategic Financial, Union Hotel, Williams Juniors and Jewelers, and XO Fitness. You can see some of those are not really in the downtown area, which is where sort of our focus is, but they are in the areas where we have planting beds, and we really appreciate those businesses that donate. And then of the civic organizations, the Men's Club, the VFW, Kiwanis Club, Pink Flamingo, and the Women's Club of De Pere. So overall, our donations this year were down about 15% year over year. So tough year or whatever, it really didn't affect us too much, but we are sort of planning our spends down for next year. I don't want you to panic on that, because if you listen to what we said, we did some big projects with Walsh Plaza, also those beds out at I-41. Those are one-time things because those are perennials and shrubs. So we already kind of have a built-in sort of down spending year, and we hope that our our fundraising campaign is more successful next year. Every year goes out to everybody. We're fortunate we are able to send that out in the water bill, so it does hit a number. I mean, most of our owners of property in town. We do kind of struggle. Renters, we can't quite figure out how to, all of the people in the 102 don't get a flyer from us. And there's some opportunities. We just have to figure out how to attack them. I've used this slide before, De Pere and not De Pere. And usually when I use it, I put up a slide of a pot or something that doesn't look so good. And I wanted you guys to know that I'm not pulling the wool over your head to say that De Pere is the best planners or the only good-looking community. So this is a place that I saw and I said, hey, we're equal to that. And it's nice to see that we're in good company. I will say that I did look up this municipality and they have in their budget for downtown beautification in 2024 was $294,926. And their estimate for 2025 was $307,000. So, we do pretty well bootstrapping it up. But it is nice to see that other communities think like De Pere and are really working to beautify their downtown areas. Again, as Sue said, we really want to thank the volunteers, the city staff, Parks Department, our donors, the police department. They usually run some stings, especially right before we're going to get out and start planning in spring so that we've got traffic under control. We'd also like to thank our suppliers. Scenic View Landscape has been a consistent supplier for most of our annuals and perennials and shrubs and wreaths. And then this year, Stone Silo Prairie Gardens out in Ledgeview, they donated around 350 plants that went into the butterfly garden out on Shearing and Suburban. And I guess now I would open it up if there are any comments or questions.
Well, I can tell you this much, you're not going to get to $394,000. However, your current budget is $10,000, and we're considering bumping that to $11,000.
Well.
So, yeah, you are welcome. Every year you guys come here, I learn so much about flowers. I mean, we all really do. Now, that said, I can't get a flower to survive more than one day, let alone a few hours. But can you guys come to my house and help me out? Is that possible? No, you should say no, you can't do that. We always say it's a lot, but public-private partnerships are extremely important to us, and this is a classic example. The city contributes toward this, but without all of you, and I know there's more out there, we wouldn't have this. We know that. We know it's worth a lot more than $11,000 from all that you put into this to make this city look incredible. And then just to get the information of how you change and pivot every year, and then you recognize when things don't work and we go to a different direction. I think we're all very appreciative of that. And I'm glad the residents can hear that as well. We are a huge supporter, and we don't just say that, we actually mean that. We're the ones out there on the streets listening to what people say about what De Pere looks like. And that means a lot to us. I mean, that makes De Pere that special place to live. Yeah, we have people, which I think are incredible. We have a great organization. We have great civic groups. But unless you have that visual beauty that we have in the city, we don't have it. And to hear you say this stuff about the butterflies and how you have the concrete portion of the city coming to life, that also means a lot to us because sustainability is extremely important. So I know on behalf of myself, and others can say this, but we just can never thank you enough. To go from 10 to 11, seems small, but in our world it's kind of big. But at the same time, we don't even hesitate. Ever since I became mayor, and I know Mayor Welsh prior, always contributed to beautification and upped it every year. And that's the same that we will do every year. Do we feel it's enough? Probably not. But we're happy that we have this good relationship with the city. With Scott and Marty and all the crew that help you out. It's a labor of love, isn't it? You guys really enjoyed it, and you have to, I didn't even know you guys gathered all those sticks from someone's farm out there, and you bring them here.
We have to borrow the pickup truck, too.
Oh, I just thought they magically appeared. I thought maybe it was Scott that did that or Marty, but I guess we can't give them credit. So all I'll say is thank you, and we can't thank you enough. And we're looking forward to next year. I know you're kind of down about the Packers thing and the stuff didn't pop up, but we did see some. I remember when the season started just prior to the draft, we could see some pop up because I know that was something important to you and all of us as well.
Yep.
Other comments anyone has? Did I kind of echo that?
Oh, good.
Alderperson Gantz.
I just want to say thank you because you all do an amazing job, and I know how much work you put into it, and we do appreciate you. If people want to donate, I've seen the planners with donation signs and all of that. If people want to do that, how do they go about doing that?
Probably the best way is to go to our website, which is deperebc.org, I believe.
I'm sure on Google you can just go Deeper Beautification. It'll kind of
Right,
get
yeah,
its way there
right.
too. Yeah.
So, and there's an opportunity there to donate. They can donate right from there, or they can, there's probably an address or a contact if they, want to send a physical check.
Okay, great. Yeah, I want to donate to one of those planners. But thank you so much for, I think a big part of why De Pere looks so beautiful is because of the Beautification Committee. So we appreciate you all. Thank you.
Anyone else? Kim, you want to speak?
Sure. Thank you so much. The Beautification Committee was one of the first groups I visited when I started trying to make the rounds and get to know people. The work you do is phenomenal. And I also thought about what Ruth Ann said earlier about being in a community where your voice is heard. Your committee is part of being a community where everyone can make such an infallible difference. So layering on to Pamela's comment, if someone wants to get their hands dirty and help plant, are you accepting volunteers? Are you looking for more people?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so we can direct them to the same website and get in
Yes,
touch.
yep,
Okay,
yeah.
excellent.
Great, thank you. Anyone else? So again, a big thank you to all of you. I think they deserve a good round of applause. I know their work's not done yet. We look forward to the winter planters. I understand these come down pretty soon, right? The flowers come out, I assume, in the next few weeks. Right, and then the winter stuff comes, and we're there again. All right, thank you, Evans.
There'll be
Very
a few
good.
weeks of maybe nothing, so you can sort of
Get out there.
adjust.
Yeah.
All right, thanks again. Thanks,
Yes,
everybody.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's go. Where are we right now? Item 8. Recommendation from Plan Commission to approve a 3-lot and 1 outlot certified survey map at 1100 Employers Boulevard, parcels WD-D0031, WD-364-D502.
I'll move to approve. Second.
Motion by Alderperson Nelson, seconded by Alderperson Carpenter. Discussion or comments? Seems we have none. That said, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 9, recommendation from Plan Commission to approve a 2-lot extraterritorial certified survey map at 2200 Beck Way in Lawrence, parcel L-451-4. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Ledvina. Discussion or comments? Seems we have none. That said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 10, recommendation from Plan Commission to approve a 44-lot and 1 outlot extraterritorial preliminary plat of Rock Ridge Estates at 2200 Beck Way in Lawrence, parcels part of L-4511 and L-4525.
Make a motion to approve. I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson Nelson. Discussion or comments? That said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 12, recommendation from the Board of Park Commissioners to allocate up to $5,000 from the beer garden revenues to fund recommended improvements. Did I miss one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Item 11. Yeah, Marty's out there. I just test my, yeah, he was freaking out big time. Item 11, recommendation from the Board of Park Commissioners to accept a donation from the Pink Flamingos to place a statue and plaque at Legion Park valued at $3,000.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Gantz, seconded by Alderperson P-Rock. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Yeah, just a question for Marty. I have no problem with this. I certainly appreciate everything the Pink Flamingos do. Just wondering about the location, though, because this is a pretty tall statue, 7 feet, and then it's going to be on top of the scorer shack. I don't know how tall the scorer shack is, so I'm just wondering about the aesthetics, if it's going to go pretty high in the air.
Well, without going out there with a tape measure, I would say yes, it will be up high. But if you look at Legion Park, look at all of the variables to this. I know a very similar statue has been unfortunately vandalized a couple of times. If we don't put it in a location that is inconvenient for people to vandalize, it will get vandalized, unfortunately. So if we were to put it on top of the score shack, it is going to be inconvenient, not impossible, but very inconvenient for people to mess with it. Yeah. So that's why we chose that location.
We'll see how it looks.
See how it looks, huh?
Yep.
Other questions or comments? Other than I'm sure thanks to Pink Flamingos and obviously the people that they're dedicating this to. Do we have the names of the people they're dedicating it to?
Yes,
Yeah, it's in there.
Isn't there? You want to say them publicly? I can't remember. It's always nice to get stuff out there.
Yeah.
Dana and Mr. Pichette.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
You know Pichette it is. But
That said, roll call vote, please. No.
No.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. I don't know what it is. Must be the middle of the agenda or something, but. Item 12, recommendation from the Board of Park Commissioners to allocate up to $5,000 from beer garden revenues to fund recommended improvements to the Legion Park Disc Golf.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Nelson, seconded by Alderperson Ledmana. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Yeah, Marty, can you just give an overview on what the improvements are going to be?
Yeah, that was left out, unfortunately. So it is up to $5,000 for the replacement of the tee pads that are out at the disc golf course. Tee box number 1 has a concrete pad. The rest, the following 8 tee pads are all mats, and they become kind of slippery when it does get wet out because they are aging. They don't have the traction anymore. So the group would like to work with us and put in concrete tee pads. So that's what the money would go
And what
for.
group is that?
Well, they're not a bona fide group, but they are the people. 2 of the people were with the group with Jim Kneisel that actually formed and helped create the actual disc golf course.
And I think the mats were originally an Eagle Scout project, correct?
You're probably right, but
Yeah, they just haven't held up.
yeah.
Okay.
All good? Alderperson Gantz.
Is there a very large group of people who play disc golf there? I haven't really seen many people, and I'm out there a lot.
Yeah, I think the answer is yes.
I can answer. I drive by there
Yeah.
every day,
Do you?
and there's a
Oh, good.
lot of people there.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Alderperson Kneisel championed this, former Alderperson
Yeah.
Kneisel. But would you concur? I mean,
Yeah, if you look at the traffic of the grass, the grass doesn't get beaten down to bare earth without heavy traffic. Well, we have a lot of that going on out there. One thing that we can do, though, and it is probably interesting, now that we have that Placer AI software, we could probably work with development services to try to get an idea over time what kind of attendance numbers are there.
That's going to bring
Great.
that up.
Thank you.
I was going to bring that up.
Alderperson Ledmana.
I just want to point out too, we learned at the park board meeting that the high school uses
Mhm.
the course for classes.
Oh, for classes during the day?
Mhm.
That's who I
for
see out
class.
there.
Isn't that cool?
It's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, let's
Excellent.
start charging them.
Oh.
Revenue.
Get out of here.
We'll get on that. Other questions or comments? All right, that said, this is a roll call vote.
Alderperson Gantz.
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Kundiger.
Aye.
Ledvina.
Aye.
Nelson.
Aye.
P-Rock.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Essercon.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 13, recommendation from the License Committee on a renewal application for a Class B fermented malt beverage license for the Pere Deacons Hockey Club, Pere Deacons, 1450 Fort Howard Avenue, agent David E. Lepp, Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, second by Alderperson P-Rock. Discussion or comments? Seems we have none. That said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 14, recommendation from the License Committee on an application for a Class B fermented malt beverage, Class B intoxicating liquor license for Lucky Lotus LLC, Lucky Lotus Asian Fusion, 101 Fort Howard Avenue, agent Alison C. Porter, Appleton, Wisconsin.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, second by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion, comments. Seems you're all good. That said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 15, Resolution 25-106, ratifying and accepting a grant from David L. and Rita E. Nelson Family Fund in the amount of $100,000 for improvements to Wilson Park. I'll make a motion to approve.
Nice. Second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson P-Rock. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Nelson?
This is the same family that donated to the facility at Voyager, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and it looks like this is something that you applied for. It was a application that you filled out.
Yes.
For this, I just want to say thank you for applying for this. Are they? I mean, it's all designed around parks? All their donations?
No. I don't have their mission statement,
Yeah, I'll just have
under
to
me.
Google them or something.
But I know historical type things are a thing of importance. They've worked a lot with Nina and the lighthouse up in Green Bay, I believe.
Okay.
But with David and Rita living in De Pere, and Rita actually visited and went to our community center quite a bit, there's been a little bit of a attachment to City of De Pere projects. So
yeah, I didn't realize they had an attachment to it, to De Pere as well.
They donated
awesome.
quite heavily to the Historical Society, the new Heritage Center.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
So really their mission, like he says, it's kind of all over, but they
Kind of a history
they
bent
really
to it.
champion De Pere.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah,
and the Fox Valley.
It's amazing. So yeah, we're very fortunate. So, and thank you for applying for that.
Other questions or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Yeah, so Marty, in the application, you said that we will install a monument/marker identifying redevelopment of the park was supported by the foundation. Did they have any other requests for recognition, or are they good with just that?
Just that.
Okay.
Other questions or comments? Other than, of course, a huge thank you again to the foundation. Incredible people to work with. All right, that said, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Hanson.
Aye.
Coninger. Aye. Ledvina. Aye. Nelson.
Aye.
P-Rock.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Essercon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 16, Resolution 25-107, approving Fox River State Trail Winter Maintenance Cost Share Memorandum of Understanding among the City of De Pere, the Village of Alloway, the City of Green Bay, and Brown County.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Ledman, second by Alderperson Carpenter. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Yeah, so Marty, looks like there's no changes to this. I know a few years ago I had some constituents ask about plowing it from Heritage Road down to Rockland Road. Has there been any further discussion on that with the county?
We have not discussed it with the county, and we haven't received any push, if you will, to extend that out.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't talked to county, and we haven't received any information.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything recently either, so, okay.
Very good. It's not going to snow anyway, so. Other questions or comments? All right, looks like we're all good. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Coninger. Aye. Ledvina. Aye. Nelson.
Aye.
P-Rock.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Essercon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 17, Resolution 25-108, authorizing transfer of $3,000 from unassigned reserves to fund additional city entrance signs. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Boy, the city entrance signs things never ends. Questions or comments? And again, this came as a recommendation as a way to fund the signs, going through unassigned reserves and moving ahead with it. So, questions, comments? I've been down this road before. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Ledvina. Aye. Nelson.
Aye.
P-Rock.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Essercon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Coninger. Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 18, Resolution 25-109, authorizing AT&T utility easement, 300 Main Avenue, parcel numbers WD-917-1 and WD-917-2.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson P-Rock. Discussion, comments? Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Nelson.
Aye.
P-Rock.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Esser Khan.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Kundiger. Ledvina.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 19, Resolution 25-110, authorizing development agreement with Phoenix of De Pere LLC, parcel numbers WD-364-D502 and WD-D0031, 1100 Employers Boulevard. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by me, second by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion, comments. Alderperson Hanson.
I don't know if Dan's out there.
He is.
He is out there.
Yeah, Dan, I see that 20% of the units are going to have to be affordable for people at or below 80% area median income. I'm just wondering, when the time comes, how are they going to exactly calculate what's considered an affordable rent at that income level?
In the appendix of the agreement, you'll notice the listed price points that are what constitute the Brown County's area median income 80% threshold as calculated by HUD. The reason we're using this approach is this is a standard approach that is used for typical CDBG projects. In this case, it's 80%. Some CDBG projects are closer to 60, but in order for make this project to work with an affordable component, the 80% was selected. So the unit prices or monthly rates are included in there based off of the family size. Those are the stipulations that are included, and we're more or less replicating the CDBG project and the CDBG tax credit project, just internally with our own funds.
I don't.
So I can go through it individually, but it's at the appendix of the document.
On page 18 of the.
He's just checking the exact page. And then I think Alderperson Nelson helped him out, right? What'd you say?
There's page 18 of the Preserve MF residential amendment, if you're on that one.
Page 18?
Yeah, I'm on the Preserve MF residential review memo project 2 file. And then it's on page 18.
So it's in the review memo as mentioned in page 18, but it's also I'm trying to pull up the actual page number for you as part of the actual document. Getting there.
That's fine. Take your time.
There, it is on page 53 of 55 for the development agreement with exhibits. Starting there. And before that is also the self-certification and example income computation and certification requirements. As a reference, as we started to go through this process, we started to look around the state of Wisconsin for what other communities are of similar nature to us and have to do affordable housing on their own. And in this case, is a compilation of communities like the town of Middleton and others, or the city of Middleton and others who have been forging down this path of affordable housing components. And so some of the language has already been vetted through from other communities, and so why reinvent the wheel? So we worked with our counterparts to craft a workforce housing component that best fits our community, complying with and using the 80 county median income based off of the family size and thresholds.
Okay, it looks like 1372 for efficiency, 1470 for one bedroom. I'm just kind of wondering though, because the 80% income is based on the family size, so what's considered affordable, doesn't that vary depending on the family size too?
Yeah, so if you look at the family size, 1, 2, 3, to qualify for that component, family of 3, if you look on the previous page, a family of 3 would be having a household income of $70,600. That's how they would be able to apply. So the rent thresholds themselves are the same. It's the threshold of number of family members based off of the median income per household size. So it's not that the unit numbers or the unit prices change based off of household size. It's who qualifies based off of household size and income.
Okay. And then also, I see this is just for the first 15 years. Is that standard with other municipalities that have affordable housing components?
At some point, when you do this on your own, if you look at a WIDA project, it could be up to 20 years, could be up to 30 years, but they are also foregoing a lot more income generation throughout that project timeframe, and so the tax generation tax credit generation is a lot higher. This is what we can support without not completely depleting our affordable housing pool. And so as a result, this is a combination of using TIF in TID 15 as well as the workforce housing component. So I would say it's a average requested distance or time frame from the original start of TID 15. This does extend beyond the TID 15 life, and so therefore that we've assigned it as 15 years to each building.
Okay, thank you.
And so people realize it's a very good component of the TIDs where you can capture the funding in the last year, correct, Dan? In this case, it was well over $1 million, right?
What did you say? Sorry, you broke up.
The TID portion, that was the beauty of the TID was you can capture for affordable housing 1 year out of closing. And this one was over $1 million that could be used, correct?
Yeah, we had closed TID number 6 in 2021, and we captured about $1.9 million of additional revenue for that single year, in which we've used this to do our affordable housing fund program for this nature, also our housing stock improvement program, the Rock the Block program, great programs that have all been funded based off of that single TID closure. And for everyone's benefit, and we remember back in July, we actually terminated and extended TID 8 for that same purpose, and should expect to capture about another $350,000 to seed fund this program.
And the city realized that this is a huge challenge, not just here, but across the country. And De Pere is trying to do what they can to assist and help. And everyone's definition of affordable housing varies considerably, but at least it's an attempt and it's a try. And it's very meaningful as well. So we really appreciate Dan, Development Services, Kim, and the whole staff for coming up with these creative avenues of trying to assist and help, because this isn't easy. It's not. And it's a challenge. Other questions or comments? Kim.
I just want to layer on to what Dan already said is related to trying to figure out what is affordable, like what is an affordable rent. This isn't something that municipalities work through and create methodologies on their own. It is well established by HUD, and all of us generally follow what they're doing because they have such specific requirements, and they've been doing this for years and years. And the area median income will change from year to year. And so how they establish those thresholds, folks who do affordable housing abide by those on a tenant by tenant basis when they're reviewing the incomes and qualifications. And that's really what we are trying to align within this development agreement, is using a standardized process that already exists at the federal government level and is utilized by the state, rather than coming up with our own.
Very good, thank you. Very good discussion, by the way, too. This is obviously extremely important. Other questions or comments? All right, that said, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Pirock.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Essercon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Kuniger.
Aye.
Ledvina.
Aye.
Nelson.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 20, notification of letter of support provided to the Wisconsin Department of Transportation for standalone curb ramp improvement project.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson, is that Nelson again on the outside? Yeah. Alderperson Nelson. Discussion, comments? Looks like we're all good. That said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Item 21, consideration and possible action on consent to collateral assignment of payment rights between Pere Hotel Associates, LLC, and Community First Credit Union regarding the former Shopko site hotel project. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Pirock. Discussion or comments? Very good. That said, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Up next, future agenda items. Does anyone have anything? Looks like we're all good. I will then make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Nelson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We're officially adjourned. Thank you, everybody.